Devious Weasel Games is the publisher of the subject of this gaming radar. And that title? Cosmic Frog. This is a 2 to 6 player game for ages 13 and up and should run you about 45 to 90 minutes. Cosmic Frog is a game of collection, combat, and theft on a planetary scale. Each player controls a 2-mile-tall, immortal, invulnerable, frog-like creature that exists solely to gather terrain for the shards of Aether, the fragments of long-ago shattered world. The first ones seek to use the lands for the shards to reconstruct the world of Aether, and your frogs are their terrain harvesters. At the start of the game, your frogs descend from the Aether, the cosmic sea between the worlds, onto a terrain-rich shard of Aether. Once on that shard, you harvest land and store it in your massive gullet. When your gullet is sufficiently full, you will leap into the Aether and disgorge your gullet contents into your interdimensional vault for permanent storage. Then return to the shard to collect even more land. Although your frog's collective mission is to gather as much land as possible for the first ones, your private goal is to prove yourself to be the greatest of their harvesters by delivering to them the most valuable vault. To do this, you have to fill your vault strategically in a manner that both maximizes linear sets of identical lands and maximizes the diversity of lands in your vault at the end of the game. Throughout the game, you're free to keep yourself and focus on harvesting at your own pace. Or you may attack other frogs and try to take lands directly from their gullets. You may even raid another frog's vault and steal lands that they have gathered if they have been knocked into the drenches of the outer dimensions. As you are all immortal and invulnerable, no frog is ever wounded or killed, just irritated and inconvenienced. But don't ever get too comfortable with your carefully crafted plans, as the Aether is a chaotic and unstable place. Waves of Aether flux will prompt you to mutate, and you may have to change your strategy in accordance with your new powers. And splinters of Aether, tiny slivers of the old world that swirl madly about the Aether, will periodically fall from their orbit and crash into the shard, destroying large areas of the terrain and blasting apart the very shard itself. The game ends when the shard is stripped of all harvestable land, or when a splinter shatters it. When the game ends, the player with the highest value vault wins, and the frogs move to the next shard to gather more land for the first ones. Wow, that's what the publisher had to say about the game. Alright, so I had heard about this game, so background. I had heard about this game. I'm a fan of Devious Weasel Games, which is one of the reasons why this game came to my attention, though I wish it had come further into my attention quicker and sooner. Yes, Devious Weasel Games, if you're not familiar with them, and the creator of the games, James Felly, they have a great series of titles, one of which ties into this game, actually, and that's Shadows of Malice. There's also great games such as Bemused, Dure the Lesser Houses, and Zimby Mojo. So knowing that there is a good track record makes me even more interested in this game. Now, as of right now, there's not a hell of a lot about this game. Everything I'm telling you is found right here on Board Game Geek, actually, including information that the developer of the game, James Felly, had to write and put up. And that's one more thing I want to share with you, because this is what is really attractive to me to this game. The weirdness level of this game, just reading the publisher blurb, got me hooked right away. It is so different. And then going on and reading a little more of what James had to write about this game has really just tipped the needle for me, actually. So let me just tell you what he wrote. He wrote this thing called The Big Picture, and I really want to share this with you because this is another thing, as I was just saying, this really totally added on to me just wanting to tell everyone about this game. So here we go, The Big Picture. The general idea is to move land tiles from the shard, which is the landmass floating in the aether, to your vault, which is your personal interdimensional pocket space. Now you do this by leaping onto the shard hex that has the land on it and then harvesting the land. This removes the land from the shard and puts it into your massive, distendable gullet. That is so cool. Then you jump off the shard into the aether, which is the cosmic sea between the stars, where you get to disgorge the land from your gullet into your vault. Now, first of all, how many games have you played where you're reading about what the game is and it's telling you that during the game you're going to be disgorging something? Totally got me hooked right there. Just the implausibility that I would have ever thought of hearing this in a game. It goes on to say, you score more points by strategically filling your vault. This can be tricky because your gullet works on a philo system. First in is last out. So you get points for getting strings of the same land and for the diversity in your vault. You may keep to yourself and focus on harvesting, or attack the other frogs and take lands right out of their gullets. Okay, he keeps using the word gullet, which is another amazing word that one would never really think that they would hear in a board game, much less now talking about forcibly removing things from your opponent's gullet. How is that not awesome? It goes on, you may even attempt to raid another frog's vault and steal lands that they have gathered. Your only currency is oomph, the energy that drives you from the cosmic fire that burns within your frog's belly. Oomph. I love that. Your currency is oomph. And then he finishes off the big picture by saying, oh yeah, you will also have superpowers, just to make sure that you are completely overpowered. Perhaps you will be massive and harder to batter about. Or maybe you'll have a prehensile whip tongue to harvest nearby lands. Or maybe you'll be vampiric and steal other frogs' oomph. Okay, come on, that is hysterical. That is fun. All right, so that's what I know about the game, and it's already got me hooked. So go check this out by Devious Weasel Games. The Cosmic Frog. Please, go look at this game. It's definitely on my gaming radar, and you know what? I think it should be on yours.